It was a horribly familiar feeling. After falling 3 short against New Zealand, the same thing happened against the Box. England fought hard to get themselves out of a hole, but their bravery counted for little on the final scoreboard. It's time for Chris Robshaw and his men to draw tighter and closer, to take stock and to come out firing once again. We start with analysis. Brad, Davey, welcome along to O2 Inside Line. We're going to have a look at some of the tries, obviously with both of you crossing the whitewash against South Africa. Great forward strength, which we know England possess, but interesting to see one or two of the backs joining in as well.
Obviously great accuracy by the forwards, and the backs obviously got involved, and pleased that Davey got over the line and showed some fantastic strength to beat off the last couple of guys.
You know, they do a good job trying to pull it over, but I just managed to get over the line, so very pleased with that.
How sweet a moment for you.
Yeah, first try, 1 in 39, so yeah, many more to come hopefully.
And Brad, let's talk about your try as well. Obviously slightly frustrating, I imagine, that it came as late as it did.
I think the pleasing thing here was just the patience and making sure we're accurate, and I think the ability that we shifted the ball a few times just to want it reach shoulders. We spot some space on the outside. There's obviously some good calling. Johnny manages to get a 2-on-1 and ball away, and obviously finish in the corner and give ourselves a chance to go and win the game.
You mentioned the frustration. I mean, what is key to channeling that in the right way this week?
I think the bond and culture within this team is really strong, and guys will fight hard to make it right now, and that's starting with your preparation for Samoa and going out there and putting in a great performance.
I feel we've got good players throughout the squad. I think the longer we're together, building up to the World Cup and the Six Nations, and this weekend and next weekend, we should pull out some good performances out the back. Because that's saying all the England fans are still right behind you. Best of luck this weekend, fellas. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Al.
Cheers.
Next up, an experts masterclass.
There's a few components that go into catching the high ball. Firstly, it's about keeping your eye on the ball while it's in the air. It's quite a difficult job for a fullback to do in quite torrential conditions. As you can imagine, the ball movement, you know, it travels everywhere. Secondly is win that aerial space. It's important these days to try and get off the ground when it comes to taking a high ball and win that contest in the air. As you see from the best in the world, they make it look easy due to how much time they spend practicing. I think it's one of the most difficult jobs to do as a fullback or a winger, and that's why it's used as such a weapon in the modern game as it is today. You know, it's huge importance that the communication's there early and it's clear. As you'll see from, you know, your Mike Brown, Dan Carter's, they do make it look relatively easy because of how much communication they put on the ball and how much time that they give themselves. It's about finding the space. It's obviously what we call the transition and the counter-attack. You're now on the offensive, whereas, you know, before you're on the defence. So you've got the ball in your hand now, and it's about looking up and trying to find the space and trying to target players that could potentially be a weakness in defence. And it's important that as soon as you've caught the ball, that you immediately look up, see what's in front of you, and, you know, attack the weak spot.
Next, it's teammates.
Phil the Power Taylor. I think it'd be very entertaining.
What position do you think you'd have him playing?
Tired.
Darts player.
Phil the Power Taylor.
He'd be hooker, wouldn't he?
You reckon?
Steve Redgrave, maybe.
Yeah.
He's got a good engine on him. As you see, he's obviously very hard working, 5 gold medals.
Don't know, I think David Beckham would be quite cool.
Cool or good?
Well, he'd be good as well, wouldn't he? But he'd just be a cool teammate.
I'd take Paul Scholes in his heyday at Man United.
What's he going to do on a rugby field?
No, because I'm saying that you take his talent from football and put him into rugby.
In what position would he play?
Well, he'd play 10, wouldn't he? Because he used to pull all the strings.
We could take Anthony Joshua, the boxer, throw him in there.
Blind side, yes. Big hitter.
Big hitter. Any trouble, boom.
Well, Anthony Joshua, he'd be pretty handy, isn't he? He's used to a bit of physical contact.
I reckon probably one of the young British boxers, maybe Anthony Joshua. I imagine he'll be pretty handy.
You can hide behind him if anything kicks off.
Amir Khan.
Ben Ainsley. It's topical because what's he going to do? What I'm saying, sorry, to have to be physiologically good. I don't really know. I thought he was just a competitor. I thought he was just like an amazing sports person.
I'm going to go Alan Shearer. Childhood hero.
Yeah, just never let anyone down, did he?
It's got to be Jimmy White, isn't it?
Oh, the whirlwind.
He makes the breaks, doesn't he?
Next up, it's player cam.
So part of England Connected scheme, we had a few guys from our first clubs come down and watch us train. So mine was Salisbury, and we had a guy from Salisbury Rugby Club who was the cameraman for a good number of years. Come down and watch us train, and we got to meet him afterwards and present him with a gift. Yeah, it's massively important. Obviously, we wouldn't be where we are today without the help of so many people at our first clubs. And it's great to see guys, friendly faces, watching what we're doing, come down and show their support as well.
And finally, this is England's ultimate player.
Yeah, with the line-out as a hooker, it's quite important to have a line-out jumper that really backs himself.
My ultimate line-out expert would have to be Joe Launchbury, who always gives me perfect delivery, whatever I tell him, and it's just straight at my hands, ready to pass away.
You just lift where you're told to lift.
Yeah, I just lift really. Who's lightest?
Yeah.
Not Billy Vunipola, 100%. Probably out second row has got to be Courtney Egg because he's the lightest.
Ultimate player would have the line-out skills of Courtney Laws. He's an accomplished line-out caller. He's obviously been quite new to the job, but he's really good at it, and he's also obviously got particularly good at aerial skills. He likes to sort of catch the ball one-handed, and he's good in that department.
My ultimate player with the line-out skills I would be Jiff Parling. This is reading of a line-out and his understanding and calling is top-notch.
Under the floodlights of Twickenham, England will get a proper test ahead of next year's World Cup pool campaign. 2 games, 2 narrow defeats to the Southern Hemisphere superpowers. Now all England want is a win.